In the ancient kingdom of Persia, a remarkable story of courage and faith unfolded. The Jewish people, living as exiles under the rule of King Xerxes, faced a dire threat to their existence. Among them was Esther, a young and beautiful woman whose journey from obscurity to royalty would ultimately save her people from destruction. King Xerxes, known for his opulence, hosted a grand banquet showcasing his wealth and splendor. When Queen Vashti defied his command to appear before his guests, she was deposed, and a search began for a new queen. Esther, an orphan raised by her cousin Mordecai, was among those brought to the palace. Following a year of beauty treatments, her grace and charm captured the king's heart, and she was crowned queen. Mordecai, who advised her to conceal her Jewish identity, remained near the palace gates, where he uncovered a plot to assassinate the king. He informed Esther, who relayed the information to Xerxes, saving his life and earning Mordecai a place in the royal chronicles. While Mordecai's loyalty went unrewarded at the time, trouble brewed as Haman, an Agagite elevated to the highest position of authority, grew enraged by Mordecai's refusal to bow to him. Fueled by hatred, Haman devised a plan to annihilate all Jews, convincing the king to issue a decree for their destruction. The decree set the date for their annihilation, and the kingdom descended into turmoil. Mordecai urged Esther to intercede on behalf of her people, reminding her that her royal position might have been destined for such a time as this. Esther, after calling for a 3-day fast among the Jews, resolved to approach the king despite the law that forbade unsummoned entry. On the 3rd day, adorned in her royal robes, she stood before Xerxes. The king, pleased to see her, extended his golden scepter, sparing her life. She invited the king and Haman to a banquet, where she planned to reveal her petition. That night, the king, unable to sleep, had the royal chronicles read to him and discovered Mordecai's act of loyalty. Determined to honor him, Xerxes sought counsel, and Haman, unaware of the king's intent, suggested an elaborate display of recognition, assuming it was for himself. To Haman's horror, the king commanded him to bestow the honors upon Mordecai. Humiliated, Haman returned home in despair, only to be summoned to Esther's second banquet. During the feast, Esther revealed her Jewish identity and exposed Haman's plot. Enraged, the king ordered Haman's execution on the very pole he had prepared for Mordecai. With Haman's downfall, Esther and Mordecai were granted authority to issue a new decree, allowing the Jews to defend themselves. On the appointed day, the Jews triumphed over their enemies, and the fear of their God seized the kingdom. They celebrated their deliverance with feasting and joy, refraining from taking plunder. Mordecai recorded these events, establishing the annual celebration of Purim to commemorate the Jewish people's salvation. The festival became a time of feasting, joy, and giving gifts to the poor. King Xerxes elevated Mordecai to a position second only to his own, honoring his wisdom and leadership. The story of Esther stands as a timeless testament to bravery, faith, and divine providence. Her actions not only saved her people but also left a legacy of hope and deliverance, reminding generations of the power of standing up for what is right even in the face of great danger. Through Esther's courage, the Jewish people were delivered, and their story continues to inspire the world.